Yes, guys, welcome. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday afternoon. How is everyone? I hope you're all doing good, guys. First thing we do, don't forget to hit that like button once you come in, guys. We'd appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and all the good stuff so you know when I go live. How is everyone doing on this Sunday afternoon? I hope everyone's doing well after the crap show that was yesterday. We got more things to talk about today, guys. So big up to everyone in the chat already. I hope you're all good. I hope everyone's good in the chat. Big up to all of you guys. Big up Edward, Mac, Durant, Gabriel. How you doing, man? Pat-Man in the house. How you doing? Yeah, we're gonna get all the Virgil talk, man. We're gonna get to all the Virgil talk in 1 second. But guys, listen, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm quite close to 4,000 subscribers right now, so please, if you can, if you've not hit that subscribe button yet, please hit the subscribe button. Also, share this video out, guys. Share the channel out on your social media. Go do whatever you can. Get more people coming. Yeah, and get the subscribers up, my guys. Thank you very much. Big up to Joe on Twitter. Big up on Twitch. Sorry. Big up to you, Joe. Hope you're doing well. Red Scout in the house. Hope you're doing well. How you doing, Red Scout? We got Ricky and Luke from the 1892 Reg podcast. Don't forget to go and subscribe to my boys over there. Yeah, go and subscribe. 1892 Reds TV. Go and subscribe to them, guys. Go and subscribe to my boys over there. Big up to them. Ricky or Luke, whoever is in charge right now, you can put your link in the chat, my friends. Big up Captain Sal. Big up Lee in the house. Big up GR. Iber in the house. How everyone's doing? Goat since how you all doing? Right, let's start off this. Right, before we start off anything about this Virgil talk, I'm just going to show you something, right? And then we're going to talk about it.
I think he's overrated personally. I mean, I've seen a lot.
You think Virgil van Dijk is overrated?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of media loving with what Van Dijk has done. No doubt he's a brilliant centre half. He makes too many mistakes. Mistakes that I think that go unnoticed. There was a goal they conceded when they went out a couple of seasons ago during COVID in the Champions League. And again, he has this languid style of run. He seems to try and buy time, but doesn't react. Even though there was a chance there where he gets dragged down. He was dragging down. Who's the centre forward that was Solanke? He's dragged. He's got hold of.
Well, we talked about it in commentary. His arms everywhere.
That is poor centre half play. Even though he's on the other side. I think he's had a good 18 months, and I know the injury has had an impact on that.
He says that, and he says a lot of games since then as well that he's tried to turn up in and play week in,
but
week out.
But that goal today was not about the injury. That's about his lack. I can't quite put my finger on it, because once he gets away from him on that right-hand side, he seems to stop and misjudge the situation.
Are you saying he's distracted?
But people compare him with John Terry and Rio Ferdinand. Mm. He's not in the same. He can't lace their boots.
Can't lace their boots. Right. So obviously that was Jason Cundy. Yeah, look, I titled this is Virgil overrated because a lot of people talk about this. Yeah, a lot of people talk about Virgil being overrated as a defender. Now, where he talks about he can't lace Terry and Ferdinand's boots, I think is a bit. That's just crap. Look, defending is different. The way we defend as a team, right? So the way Liverpool defend as a team is completely different to how Chelsea under Mourinho and Ancelotti and Conte defended as a team. You know, they're more defensive-minded managers, yeah? So they defended a lot different as a team than Liverpool defend as a team. So would Virgil van Dijk look better in a more defensive team where he hasn't got to run consistently, you know, all the time? Probably. It's so hard comparing defenders from generations. It really is. It's very hard comparing players from generations always. With Virgil, if you take Virgil van Dijk, right? If you get John Terry, you put John Terry in Liverpool's system. John Terry wouldn't look as good as he did in Chelsea's system because it's not geared to him. You know, John Terry's got to play on the halfway line. He's got to run back. He ain't got the pace to move like that. That high press, no fullbacks. You've got to remember as well, Liverpool play with fullbacks as wingers. Yeah, Chelsea's fullbacks. Ashley Cole was the best left back in the Premier League, but he was more of a defensive-minded fullback. You know, they tucked in, they helped out. It's a different way of playing. It's a different way of playing. A different way of playing. So it's hard to judge. How would Terry do in a Liverpool setup under Jurgen Klopp? Literally, how would John Terry do in a Liverpool setup with Jurgen Klopp? You know, would he push up to the halfway line? Would he be able to play one-on-one defending? What you got to remember as well, Liverpool play one-on-one defending. Yeah, we play one-on-one defending. You know, the Virgil and Canate, yeah, they push up to the halfway line, yeah. Virgil and Canate push up to the halfway line, and then Trent and Robbo are basically left and right wingers. So you're totally exposed. Yeah, the fullbacks ain't tucking in and helping you. You know, we haven't really got a midfield that's dropping back, so the gap between the centre back and the midfield ain't too big. So you're isolated. So we're playing one-on-one defending. This is what also has got to happen. This is why, look, I respect people for their opinions, yeah? I respect people for their opinions, like Jason Cundy and all that. Jason Cundy's doing what he did yesterday on TalkSport was more of a click thing because he's a big Chelsea fan, and he does this quite a lot with people, and he doesn't think about stuff. He also said, like, Virgil was part of that team that lost 7-2 to Villa. Well, big players and big teams have lost by big results. You know, freak results happen in football. I wouldn't say that's a player's fault. He never once, by the way, there's a longer clip of the Jason Cundy thing. I'll try and find it out. He never once in the longer clip, he said, mentioned that he got second in the Ballon d'Or as a centre-back. You know, he got runner-up in the Ballon d'Or as a centre-back with Ronaldo and Messi. Yeah, he never once mentioned that. Yeah, because that year, he was the best defender around by a mile. You know, everything's always taken out of context. No one really has a proper discussion. No one has a proper discussion about things. You know, it's very easy going, oh, Virgil's shit at the moment. So, yeah, and people linked him like with Ferdinand, Vidic and Terry and people like that. Well, yeah, why not? It's different ways of playing. You've got to do what I hate. This is what I hate about pundits today, yeah? What I hate about pundits today is that they don't do their jobs properly. Yeah, they don't do their jobs properly. It's like they've forgotten about football. They forget about little things. So when you're like, never once in this Jason Cundy thing, when I think they spoke about 10 minutes or something on it, right? And not once in there when they were talking about it did they compare the way both teams play. They never compared the way John Terry played for his team Chelsea under defensive-minded managers to the way Virgil plays in a very high risk, high reward sort of team, right? High pressing, high risk, high reward, no fullbacks defensively helping. No, they don't compare that. No one even gives him that question. No one goes, look, what if John Terry was in Jurgen Klopp's system with this high line, with the fullbacks pushing forward like wingers, not tucking in, midfield and the defensive and pushing up past the halfway line, pressing high, taking risks. Would John Terry look exposed? Of course he would, but they never bring that into talks. This is what I don't like about it. This is what I don't like about it. And I always say, someone could do something for years and years and years, but if someone had 3 years at doing it at a better period of 3 years, I don't think longevity matters all the time. I don't think longevity always matters. And I hate the trophy stuff, yeah? I hate the trophy stuff. Oh, Virgil only won one of everything. He won everything, but he only won one of everything. Ronnie Johnson for Man United won more league titles than Van Dijk. Don't mean he's a better defender. Wes Brown won more Premier League titles than Virgil van Dijk. Does that mean Wes Brown is a better centre-back than Virgil van Dijk? We've got to stop this trophy. They always bring this into stuff when they want to win an argument. That's what people do all the time. Oh, how many trophies he's won? Oh, he's won everything. Yeah, but did he win 4 trophies? Did he win 4 Premier Leagues? No. But what's that matter? Like, literally, what's that matter? Maradona never won the Champions League. Yeah, what does it matter? What does it matter? It's madness. Now, longevity can matter. Don't get me wrong by the way, guys. Longevity can matter. Right? But when you're but if your team, look, it depends. Look, Mascherano at Barcelona played centre-back for like 2 or 3 years. Right? And won everything, right? In them 2 or 3 years, was he a better centre-back than any of the centre-backs in world football? No, because it's the way the team was set up. The way the team was set up. Yeah? John Terry could play for Chelsea for 12 years, and Mourinho being part of that for what? 4, 5, 6 years in his 2 spells at Chelsea? Very defensive-minded, supporting John Terry and everything he does. Make sure he doesn't get out of position. Make sure he doesn't get caught. No real. Chelsea didn't really have what I'd call attack-minded coaches coming to their club. In the years John Terry was really there as a defender. You can't. It's so hard to compare. So when I look at Virgil van Dijk, the 3 years that he was at his best, yeah. So let's go back to before Liverpool bought Virgil, yeah? Let's go back to before Liverpool bought Virgil. Liverpool couldn't defend. All right, we all know this. Liverpool had problems at the back. Liverpool had so many problems at the back. Yes, and Alisson. So we went and got Virgil van Dijk and Alisson. As soon as we got Virgil van Dijk and Alisson, we started winning everything. It's not a coincidence. Yeah? It's just not a coincidence. As soon as we got Virgil and Alisson through the doors, we start winning everything. Because he allowed Klopp to play the way he wants to play. Klopp couldn't play a high line with Skirtle, with Sacco, with Matip on his own. He couldn't play these high lines with Lovren. He couldn't play a high line with Lovren. I don't think Lovren's a bad defender. I think Lovren's actually quite a decent defender. You see him for Croatia. He looks great. You see him at all his other clubs but Liverpool. Lovren has been decent. Yeah? But we play him in a situation that don't suit him. He looks average. It looks absolutely average. So he went and got someone like Virgil van Dijk. He went and got someone like Virgil van Dijk who then could play to the way that Klopp wanted to play. Klopp wanted to play that high press, that high pressure. It starts from the front, goes to the back. He wanted to sweep a keeper and mop up behind him because that's the way football is now. Yeah? So he got the 2 best that he can do it. And it changed everything about us. Virgil could defend high up the pitch. He had mobility. He had athleticism. He was a machine. He made Joe Gomez. If anything, Virgil van Dijk made Joe Gomez look great. You know, people still going about Joe Gomez this day. He's had 6 good months as a Liverpool player, in my opinion. And then 6 months all when he was fit and healthy alongside Virgil van Dijk. Virgil carried him and he made us all believe that Joe Gomez was a great defender. That's how good Virgil was in his pomp, in his absolute prime before the injury. Could you take another centre-back like a John Terry, yeah, and put him into Liverpool's team then when Virgil came to Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp and tell John Terry to defend like Virgil van Dijk does? All right? No, because Terry hasn't got the athleticism or the pace to do what Virgil did. That's why Virgil could play that high line back then. That's why he could play that high line back then. So when people say it's overrated, they're going on recency biased. They're going on massive recency biased. And recently, Virgil's not the same player anymore. I know that. I think everyone in the chat knows that. Virgil is not the same player anymore. And I had my big rant about this yesterday. I had my big rant about this yesterday. Jurgen Klopp is partly to blame why Virgil van Dijk ain't playing to a standard, to a level he should be, in my opinion. Virgil got a serious injury, right? I think we're all very aware of the injury Virgil got, yeah? His knee was effed up, yeah? His knee was completely effed up, messed up. It was a bad injury. He was out for a year, right? Virgil was out for a year. Struggled without him. We wait for him to come back. So we struggled without Virgil, yeah? We struggled without Virgil. Once Virgil came back, we almost won a quadruple. It's not a coincidence, yeah? It's not a coincidence. We struggled without Virgil. The reason we struggled without Virgil is because we can't play the system without Virgil van Dijk. Now, I'm going to say, so I've been thinking about this all night, by the way. So I'm not just saying this now out of the blue. You know, everyone talks about, like Jurgen Klopp talks about Bobby Firmino's a system. I've mentioned it before. Bobby Firmino's a system. You guys in the chat have mentioned it. Liverpool fans especially have mentioned it before. Bobby Firmino is the system still. It's amazing that, you know, Bobby is still the system, yeah? I think that's wrong. I actually think it's wrong. I think Virgil van Dijk is the system. I actually think Virgil van Dijk is the system. But the system doesn't work anymore because Virgil van Dijk don't work anymore. It's not a coincidence. It is not a coincidence. We are playing Virgil. Look, so Virgil van Dijk had his injury. Liverpool were crap. They couldn't cope without him, yeah? As soon as he comes back, we try and almost win a quadruple. We have a great season, yeah? Fighting for everything again because Virgil's back. Virgil took a while to get himself going last season, and there were still mistakes in his game last season. Don't get me wrong. He weren't perfect. He wasn't Superman. But he was still excellent. I think we went too deep. Like, a lot of people kept blaming Virgil for a lot of stuff yesterday. He said Matip was the better defender and all that. I don't really agree with that. I don't think Matip was anywhere near as good as a centre-back without Virgil van Dijk next to him, yeah? And then Matip's just gone this season completely. But Virgil... Again, we could play the system that was allowed because Virgil was back. The system without Virgil doesn't work. The system with Virgil worked. That's why we almost won a quadruple yesterday, yeah? Last season, not yesterday. I wish it was yesterday. Last season. That's why we almost won a quadruple. That's why we had that great season, yeah? Because Virgil was back. Then, as the season was going on, though, me, other Liverpool fans were all talking about it. Virgil's played a lot of football. He's played 64 games. He came back from injury, and straight away, he's played 64 games. Now, Virgil has spoke about this himself, saying, I've played too many games of football. You know, I've played too much football. I came back from a serious injury. Look. Let's speak of this. Virgil shouldn't have played 64 games when he came back from his injury. He just shouldn't have. That's not down to Virgil. When Virgil's mentioning it, that's down to the boss, the manager. Again, I'm not allowed to talk about Klopp because everyone comes for me, yeah? Everyone always comes for me. I did my thing yesterday, a 2-hour rant on the whole shite show. That was Liverpool and Bournemouth yesterday. I get abuse in my DMs on Twitter. You're not a real Liverpool fan. I just watched 5 minutes of your video and could tell you're not a real Liverpool fan. How can you blame this on Jurgen Klopp? That's all you get. Because the Kloppites, the Church of Klopp, they come for you, man. And they don't mess around. They come for you. Just fucking mad. But Virgil's the system. And the system don't work anymore because Virgil don't work anymore. It's as simple as that. We hung out Virgil to dry. We hung out Virgil to dry. And who's to blame for it? Is this to blame on Virgil? Or is it a blame on the club not looking after him more? Who's to blame? Let me know in the chat, guys. Who's to blame? Is Virgil to blame? Or is the club to blame for not protecting him more? You got your star centre back. Now, I understand that the club were desperate for Virgil van Dijk to come back because of who he is. Yeah, as I said, Virgil is the system. I keep saying that all the time. I'm going to keep saying it now. People need to realise this. It's not Bobby Firmino. It's not Mo Salah. It's not. It's none of them. The whole system is built around Virgil van Dijk. Right, playing this way. When Virgil's at his absolute best, the system is at its absolute best, and we're almost impossible to beat. It's no coincidence, yeah? Look at last season going for that quadruple. The years before that, when we could compete with Man City at the highest level, hardly losing games of football, putting up ridiculous points tallies, winning trophies, competing with the best team in the world in Man City, yeah? Because the system is so hard to beat when Virgil is at his absolute best. Right, and when you get people like Jason Cundy and that, and people talking about this, and other YouTubes talking about this, they won't delve deep into this because it's easy to go on what's happening in front of your eyes this moment. Oh, Virgil shit now. Virgil's crap. You know, all this kind of stuff, and people just go, yeah, let it be. You know, Virgil's just shit. They won't delve into it properly. They won't take proper look at stuff. They won't go, actually, like, let's delve into this a little bit more. Let's have a look at Liverpool before Virgil arrived. Let's have a look at Liverpool when Virgil was injured for a year and see how Liverpool acted. Oh, and then when Virgil came back, Liverpool almost won a quadruple and had an amazing season. Were hard to beat again. So maybe Virgil is the system. And when that happens and when they work together well, they're hard to beat. It's easy. Now we go to Virgil present day. Virgil's not the player he once was. Virgil is not the player he once was. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's getting older. He had a serious knee injury, yeah? I don't blame him. I don't expect Virgil to be Superman anymore, you know, like he was previously. I don't expect him to be Superman anymore. I expect a little drop off. He had a serious knee injury. I don't know too many players that are that over the same after having serious knee injuries like that. I don't think they're ever quite the same. Even R9, he was still quality because he's like an alien, but he weren't quite the same player. Go and watch his documentary. Before that knee injury, the man was he was still out of this world after the knee injury, but he weren't quite the same player. You know, these knee injuries, I think we just took it for granted. Oh, he'll come back, be the same Virgil. There's going to be no difference. He's lost a yard of pace. He's lost a yard of pace. There's no doubt about it. Virgil relies on his pace. He relies on his pace. Yeah, because he plays in that way. if you're playing that high risk, high reward football and that, that real high line, go back and watch Virgil in his prime before the injury and the way he used to play. He swept everything up. I remember keeping space with Adama Traore in that Liverpool Wolves game when I think it's the season where we won the season we won the Champions League. I think it was that year. Virgil kept pace with Adama Traore, and he had to go out wide to meet him and kept pace with him and showed him down the line and saw the ball out. I think actually took the ball off him. Actually, that's how quick Virgil was in his prime. That's why the system worked when Virgil was in his prime. But Virgil can't catch anyone anymore. So why are we asking? Once I've said all that, guys, and I think you guys you remember all that as well. So I've said all that. Now go to present day. Let's go to present day now. Virgil can't do all that anymore. Virgil hasn't got the pace he used to. Virgil can't keep up with anyone no more, let alone Adama Traore, the quickest player in the league. He can't keep up with anyone anymore. He struggles badly. Look, in that Man United Liverpool game last week, Rashford left him for dead a couple of times with pace. A couple of years ago, that wouldn't have happened. It would not have happened. Virgil can't keep up now. He can't chase anyone down anymore. So if Virgil can't chase anyone down anymore, why do we keep playing the high line at Liverpool? Why do we play high line at Liverpool now, guys? I want to know in the chat. Yeah, even Kylian Mbappe, like Fozzie said. Remember that time when he matched speed with Kylian Mbappe and won the ball back for, I think it was the Holland-France game a couple of years ago when he still had the pace. Virgil has got to realise he's not got the pace no more as well. Virgil has got to realise he's not got the pace anymore. Maybe Virgil's got to go to Klopp and just go, listen, boss, I know you want to play this high line and all that, but I can't do it no more. I can't do it no more. My knee won't let me. I've lost a yard of pace. I'd rather just defend a little bit deeper and just defend properly. But if he says that, Klopp might be like, well, if that's the case, Virgil, then I don't need you. I'll go and get someone who can do that job. And that's my worry. Because Virgil, if you play Virgil properly and make him defend properly and don't have to think about things, he'll be still a very, very good defender for us. No doubt about it. I'll be happy with it. Yeah, I'll be totally happy with him. But making Virgil defend, making Virgil defend the way he's been doing is a joke. And yesterday, don't get me wrong, Virgil was dog shit yesterday. Yesterday had nothing really to do much with the system. Virgil was absolutely crap yesterday. No doubt about it. Absolutely crap. No excuses whatsoever. I ain't going to give Virgil any excuses yesterday. Yesterday weren't about anything, the system or anything. He was just dog shit. Because the parts where he needed to defend properly, he just gave up. I don't know what was going through his mind yesterday, and that was just stupid. Look, Virgil tries to defend the Italian way. He's very hands-on. He does a lot of pushes and stuff like that. The Italian way of defending. A lot of the greats have always done, but he couldn't. He was crap yesterday, absolute crap. So was Canate. And I'm gonna go to Canate in a minute as well because I've got something to say about Canate as well. But we look at the games previous, and this is my rant yesterday, by the way, on this. Yeah, this is my rant yesterday. When games previously, we dropped back a little bit deeper, right? We haven't been so high up. The game against Man United, although we won 7-0, we were nowhere near as high up as the game against Bournemouth. We didn't leave ourselves too exposed at the back. We're still high up a little bit. We're never going to defend deep in our box. We're never going to have the midfield, drop back 5 yards. The midfield is there to help out the front line, not in goals, but to press the ball. We are a pressing team, The reason Liverpool look crap at the moment is because we keep playing the pressing way. Yeah, it's all the players know. Everyone in this team, all they know is pressing. Yeah, so they continuously press all the time. Liverpool can't press no more. That is why we look terrible all the time, and that's why we're always so exposed at the back. But the line has got this high line has got to stop. In my opinion, we have got to change something about our team. We got to change something about our team. The whole team needs to change up. I want to see this high line gone. I want to see the high line gone. I want us to see us drop back a little bit, be a bit more contained. Maybe change into more of a possession-based team. I don't want to see this pressing no more. We can't do it. And I know, and my other worry is as well, is that, let me go to the manager a minute, all right? Let me go to the manager a minute. I know I'm not allowed to talk about Jurgen Klopp. Everyone comes here, and I'm going to get daggers and all that. People in the chat might come for me right now, but let's talk about the manager a minute. How do I put this? How do I put this about everyone violently coming for me? Is Jurgen Klopp one-dimensional as a manager? And I don't mean this horribly, by the way. For anyone who comes at me after this video and leaves comments below, coming at me, how can you say this? Is Jurgen Klopp one-dimensional as a manager? I just want to know: is he one-dimensional as a manager? Can he only play his way? This pressing, counter-pressing kind of style. Can he only play that way? Is that his way of playing? So if he gets certain players into his team and we go back to that style and we start winning again, is everyone okay with that? Because I say this because I don't know how to word this without everyone having a go at me, but I say this because we changed our style sometimes, yeah, and it doesn't work. Like we try to become a possession-based team, but we can't do possession-based football, right? We try and play out from the back. We are terrible from playing out from the back. Awful. We do it far too much. They don't know how to transition from playing out the back into an attacking position. They don't know how to transition. So we must pass back to our goalkeeper more than any other team in the Premier League. Alisson touches the ball more than our strikers do in a match. I swear he does. So we can't do that properly, and we usually look vulnerable at it. But the one thing we can do is play that pressing game, that counter-pressing game, that high-intensity, fast football. Then, should we be a bit concerned? Should we be a bit concerned? And Fozzie's right. At Dortmund, I've done this comparison before with Dortmund. At Dortmund, he had all technical players and played a different way of playing. But for some reason, he's not doing it at Liverpool. I don't know what it is. Because this is my thing that annoys me a bit with the manager at the moment, because I know he can do it. I think that's what is annoying a lot of people as well. Some people won't admit it. Some people won't mention it because they haven't got the guts to say it because they just want to blame FSG for everything. But Klopp can do it. He can do it. He can change things up. His Dortmund team was miles more technical than this Liverpool team. Miles more technical football side. Let's keep possession where they used to be able to mix it up. His Dortmund team could play possession-based football technically and do the counter-attacking gegenpressing stuff as well. They could mix it. They could mix it up. They could mix it up. Where at Liverpool, we don't seem to be able to mix it up. We've got one of the best technical midfielders in Thiago. and we're trying to make him like Gini Wijnaldum. You know, we try and make him like Gini Wijnaldum. Why are we making Thiago like Gini Wijnaldum in this? Why can't Klopp let Thiago be Thiago? That he was at Barcelona, that he was at Bayern Munich. Why has Thiago got to be like a Gini Wijnaldum in his Liverpool role? Why Bayern then? Why buy him? Why buy a Thiago when you're not going to use Thiago as Thiago should be used? Do you know what I mean? Some of that makes no sense to me. And Thiago is so good that it works. You know, it's not like he's getting a tune out of Thiago. Thiago's just a quality footballer. So at times he'll make it work, yeah, and stand out above the rest. You know, it's not hard for Thiago to stand out against our midfield. Let's face it. He's got Harvey Elliott, Fabinho, Curtis Jones, Jordan Henderson, James Milner. You know, it's not hard for Thiago to look head and shoulders above everyone else, right? But I want Thiago. When I knew we were buying Thiago, I was well over the moon. I was like, this is the first real, almost world-class player that we've ever bought, yeah? And then we make him do the Gini Wijnaldum role. It makes no sense. That's why I'm asking. Is he one-dimensional? Has he turned into a one-dimensional manager? Because he never used to be. Go back to his Dortmund days. He had technical ballers. Very technical, good footballers. You know, Dortmund were a technically good team. You know, but they could mix it up. Liverpool have now gone into... Klopp. This is what annoys me, because I know Klopp can do it. I know Jurgen can do it. I've seen his Dortmund games. I've seen his Mainz games. I've seen him change things up technically. Go to a more technical side of the game, then go to a counter, then transition to a counter side. Yeah, I've seen it with my own eyes. But at Liverpool, it seems to be one way and one way only. It's possession, it's counter-attacking, pressing football. We press all the time. That's why we're vulnerable all the time. It's 4-3-3 and it's pressing football. Press, 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 press. It's only last season we changed it up. Last season we changed it up and went to a more technical side, and we went for all 4 trophies. Now, let's get to that. Last season we played Pep Lijnders' way. Last season we played Pep Lijnders' way. More technical based, more possession based. He wanted to play like the Dutch way of football, yeah? And we went and almost won all 4 trophies. Got to every single final you can get to. Took Man City to the last day. Won the FA Cup, League Cup. You know, and we played a more possession-based game of football. We played the Pep Lijnders way. This year we've gone back to the Jurgen Klopp way of playing. And we're not playing nowhere near as good as we did last season. Let that sink in. Let's let that sink in a minute. Let that sink in a minute, guys. Because we sit here and blame Pep Lijnders a lot, yeah? We sit here and blame Pep Lijnders a lot for all this downfall. Oh, it's Pep's book and all that nonsense. And, you know, we blame Pep for the downfall quite a lot, yeah? We blame him quite a lot, right? By the way, there's nothing in this book that tells us how Liverpool play. You know what I mean? We blame Pep quite a lot for everything. But should we? We played the Pep Lijnders way of playing last season. They talk about it all the time, Klopp and Pep. Go and listen to interviews, go and listen to on Liverpool TV, stuff they chat about. Played the Pep Lijnders way last season. Now we've gone back to the Jurgen Klopp way. Now we've gone back to Jurgen Klopp way. We're not nearly as good. I think Pep Lijnders, I'm going to give Pep Lijnders a bit of credit here. I don't think people think things through, all right? I don't think people think things through. I think it's very, very easy for us to blame everyone else, right? as a fan base, it's so easy for us to go and blame a lot of other people. You know, because Jurgen Klopp's not doing a great job at the moment and no one wants to blame Jurgen, it's very easy for us to go and blame Pep Lijnders. It's very easy for us to go and blame FSG. It's very easy and go and us to blame Carol at the dinner service, probably poisoning the food. You know, it's very easy for us to have a go at Mike Gordon. It's very easy for us to have a go at the coaching staff. It's very easy for us to have a go at the physios because they're the ones that no one really relates to. They're the people no one relates to. Everyone relates to Jurgen Klopp. Everyone relates to Jurgen Klopp, right? Everyone. So it's very easy to have a go at other players and not give them the credit where the credit is due, right? I know a lot of people pray for Buvac to come back, yeah? Right, pray for Buvac to come back. We won everything in the Pep Lijnders coaching era. I don't mean to kill everyone's vibe here. I don't mean to kill everyone's vibe, right? But we won everything under the Pep Lijnders era. Let's just be, say it where it is, guys. Say it with chest. It'll make you feel better. Won everything in the Pep Lijnders era. We won everything in the Pep Lijnders era. Buvac won fuck all. In fact, Buvac wanted to play the sort of football, that heavy metal football, exciting football. What I will say is the Buvac style of football is more exciting on the eyes. I'll give you that. It's more exciting on the eyes. It's a more of a joyful watch. It's more of a joyful watch. No doubt about it. The way Buvac wants to play the game is more exciting. You know, you're like, oh, Jesus, you know, Buvac's ball is quite an exciting game of football to watch. You're never bored watching Liverpool with Buvac in charge. There's no doubt about that. But we won everything in the Pep Lijnders era. Now, maybe it's because Buvac didn't have the players Pep Lijnders did. I don't know. I can't comment on that. Would Buvac have gone to playing the same way with the new players that Pep had? Who knows? Who knows? But what I mean by all this, and this is not me saying, oh, I'm a massive Pep Lijnders fan or anything like that. I couldn't give a shit, man. I couldn't care. I literally couldn't care who was our coach, who was our scout, who was our manager, who was anything. I keep saying this time and time again. I'm a Liverpool Football Club fan. I'm not a Pep Lijnders fan. I'm not a Jurgen Klopp fan. I'm not a John W. Henry fan. I'm not a Carroll. I'm no one's fan. I support the football club. I couldn't give two monkey hoot shit bollock and crap sakes. Who the fuck is our manager? And it pisses me off. It just annoys me that everyone when things are going shit. And where I'm coming from with this is when everything's going crap. It was easier for everyone to blame Pep Lijnders, blame John W. Henry, blame Tom Werner, blame Mike Gordon, blame Ian Graham, blame Michael Edwards, blame Julian Ward, blame the physios, blame the scouting. The only one no one ever blamed was the Jurgen Klopp himself. It was just easier for everyone to blame everyone else but the manager all the time. Pep Lijnders is coming from massive criticism because he wrote a book. Who cares? He wrote a book. Big wow. It's not a bad book. Read it. It's not the worst book in the world I've read. In fact, it's better than the Jordan Henderson book. There you go. I've said it. Right? It's better than the Jordan Henderson book. It doesn't tell you how Liverpool play. I remember the Champions League final when we lost it. People on YouTube and Twitter are blaming Pep Lijnders that we lost against Real Madrid. So what? What are we doing? What? Yeah, it was. You're right. It was Pep Lijnders' fault that Trent Alexander-Arnold didn't look over his shoulder to see where Vinicius Junior was for his goal. Yeah, that's Pep Lijnders' fault. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Ancelotti. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Ancelotti read Pep Lijnders' book before the Real Madrid game. That was his tactics. He read Pep Lijnders' book. He got the book and was like, oh, right, this is my tactics, boys. Tactics of Liverpool. It's all in here. Imagine Ancelotti getting all the boys down. Right, boys, pre-match meeting. I've worked out how to beat Liverpool. It's all in here. It's all in here. Every page. You can't believe what he tells you. It's all bollocks. No one's read it if that's the case. No one's read it if that's the case. It's all bollocks. I know how Liverpool play. Pac-Man's a Man City fan. I bet he knows how Liverpool are going to set up tomorrow and how they're going to play tomorrow. It's not like we're never on telly. I just... Do you know what I mean? It's like we're never on telly. It's like we're never on telly. Oh, Carlo Ancelotti, how do Liverpool play? I haven't watched Liverpool play all season. No. Liverpool just one of the biggest teams in world football that are sold all over the world. Yeah, you can go all over the world and watch Liverpool play. You could probably buy a shirt in all the shops around the world. Liverpool are massive. He watched Liverpool play all year. He was manager of Everton. He knows how Liverpool play. It's just, and then one was like, oh, we lost that because of Pep Lijnders. If it weren't for Pep Lijnders' book, no one would know how we play. They wouldn't know our secrets. What secrets? Are we magicians now? Are we magicians? Is there a secret code I don't know about? Honestly, I need to know. Are we magicians? Is there a secret magical code I don't know about? Oh, we let all our secrets out. What secrets? What secrets? What secrets did he let out? Oh, it must be a magic, man. All this time I thought it was good ownership and good management and good players. It weren't. It was magic. It was a magical device. It was magic that was coming down on the land. The reason we were good for all them years. Yeah, he let all the magical secrets out. Oh, it does my head in. It does my head in. We just blame Pep Lijnders in the Chamber of Secrets. That's what his next book should go. Pep, if you're watching, you should do something like that. Pep Lijnders, have fun with it. Take the piss out of it. Yeah, that's what I would do. Big up Craig Reynolds in the chat. How you doing? Harry Linders. Big up Troy Don. Jamie, it was the magic torch. Jamie and the magic torch. Yeah, I'm old enough to remember that. It was my favourite cartoon. Don't come at me. Right. But we blame everyone. I don't even know where I was going with this rant. I don't even know. It irritates me. Last season, we went for a quadruple. We just lost out in the Premier League by a point to a great Man City side. Look, let's face it, it should have been Man City Liverpool in that Champions League final. Pep Guardiola messed up. Messed up in that semi-final. Should have been Liverpool Man City. Liverpool dominated Real Madrid for all that game because the goalkeeper had the game of his life. Courtois had the game of his life, kept Liverpool out, and Trent made a defensive mistake that cost us the game. Simple as that. Simple as that. There was no secrets. There was nothing unearthed. None of that sort of stuff. It just happened. But we had a great year. I loved last season. Do you know how much I'd want Pep Lijnders' year back? I would love last season to come back and play that way. But we've gone back to playing a more pressing way of football this year. You know, the line is higher than ever. We're pressing continuously. You know, we've tried to usher in players that don't suit the system. So, and this is another thing. Transfers are always blamed on Pep Lijnders. Gakpo was a Pep Lijnders signing. Good. I hope it was, because Gakpo's a decent footballer. I hope it was a Pep Lijnders signing. If he was a Pep Lijnders signing and Klopp didn't want him, I'm worried then. I'll be worried. I think Gakpo will be all right. Gakpo actually suits our system. You know, Gakpo suits the system Liverpool want to play. Luis Diaz was a Pep Lijnders signing. He suits the system Liverpool want to play. don't get why he gets all the grief all the time. The only thing, Albert's right, the only thing I don't want Pep Lijnders to do is giving stupid interviews. Pep Lijnders is not good at interviewing. No one interview Pep Lijnders. Don't want interview Pep Lijnders. He's terrible at interviews. I don't want Pep Lijnders interviewed. The man's drier than concrete, man. The man's so dry. He's got no charisma. He's got no personality. Don't interview him. But buying players that suit our system for not expensive money. And then we try and change it up. We've got Darwin Núñez in. So we've gone from Mane, Bobby and Salah. We always know replacing them three would be impossible. A very hard chart. Very, 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 very hard to break, to change that front three up to a new front three. Very difficult because that front three was world class. I ain't having no one tell me that front three of Mane, Bobby and Salah weren't world class. Together, they were probably the best front three in European football. I know people will come at me with the PSG front three and all that at the same time, but as a front three, they played for the team better than any other front three in Europe for me. And replacing them is going to be extremely difficult, and it is. So when you get someone like Darwin Núñez in, Darwin Núñez is not Bobby Firmino. Now we haven't played for number 9 in the Jurgen Klopp era. We've not played in with a proper out and out number 9 in the Jurgen Klopp era. We played with a Bobby. So we go over Darwin, an out and out number 9. We go over Luis Diaz and a Salah. We make them, creative wingers to support Darwin. So we changed up the way we want to play straight away. Now, whoever came up with that, if that is a Pep Lijnders idea, that's a stupid idea. But Jurgen Klopp is the manager. Jurgen Klopp is the manager. He doesn't have to go with these stupid ideas. And I'm not sitting here bigging up Pep Lijnders, by the way. Everyone coming in and thinking, what is he bigging up Pep Lijnders for? I'm not bigging up Pep Lijnders. As I said, I couldn't give a crap if he was not here tomorrow. If Pep Lijnders left tomorrow, I couldn't give a crap. I literally couldn't. It wouldn't bother me. I don't care. All right? But I can't sit here and pretend everything is his fault because people ain't got the guts to tell it as it is. Now, people ain't got the bottle to sit there and go, oh, maybe there's part of what Pep's asking us to do that's actually quite good, we lost the Champions League final. Everyone's blaming Pep Lijnders. And why are you all blaming Pep Lijnders for? He's the coach. He's the second in charge. He's not the commander. He's not the king. He's not the Messiah. That's the German you guys love. Yeah? Why are you blaming him? No, blame Pep. It's a scapegoat. It's very easy for us to go after scapegoats. I keep saying that. We do it all the time. We go after the scapegoats, man. I couldn't give a shit. I am just sitting here trying to detail our season. Our fall from grace. Where's it come from? Buvac might have been a quality assistant to Jurgen Klopp. I didn't care when Buvac left. Did anyone else? Like when Buvac left Liverpool, we never really got an answer why Buvac left. Did anyone give a crap? Honestly, no, you didn't. Right? You might say you did now because we're playing poorly and you want to go back to the Buvac era. Well, the Buvac era won nothing, right? And we had to win every game 4-3. Yeah, it's exciting to watch. But you know what I'm saying? No one cared. No one cared. Pep came in and we won everything. Yeah, there might be a coincidence there. There literally might be a coincidence there. But we don't look at that because people don't want to look at that. People just want to go, he's a scapegoat. And it's easy to slag him off. It's easy to get down on him. It's easy. I think he went to NEC and had a job in the Dutch league and failed miserably. He might be a terrible manager, but might be a good coach. There is a lot of very, very good coaches out there that don't make good managers. Yeah, but they're very good at coaching, right? Pep Lijnders just might be a very good coach, but a terrible manager. Doesn't mean he's terrible at coaching. Don't mean he's terrible at coaching. Sammy Lee was a tremendous coach. Sammy Lee was a tremendous coach, yeah? but he was a terrible manager. You can have good coaches, you know, only because they have bad time at managing doesn't mean they're a terrible coach. Do you know what I mean? It's just winning 4-3 every game, though. It's exciting. I guarantee you, it's exciting, and I'm up for it. But didn't win anything, did it? Now, did Buvac have the players Pep Lijnders had? No, obviously not. He didn't have Alisson and Virgil van Dijk. That was the massive thing. He never had Alisson and Virgil van Dijk. Could Buvac have played? Could we have been? The thing is, though, if Buvac was here, right, with Alisson and Virgil van Dijk, we would have still won everything we won under Pep Lijnders. There wouldn't have been anything different. We would have still won the Premier League, Champions League, and so on and so on. Nothing would have changed. There's no difference. That's what I'm saying. Pep's just a scapegoat. So Pep Lijnders came in. We won the Premier League, Champions League, Super Cup, World Club Championship, FA Cup, League Cup. You know, went on amazing runs against Man City for like 3 years out of 5 or whatever it was. And, you know, almost won a quadruple last season. That might have happened under Buvac as well. So really, there's no difference. There's no difference whatsoever. Doesn't really matter. But we're just using Pep as a scapegoat. This is what I'm trying to say, guys. We're using Pep as a scapegoat because no one's got the absolute mentality and guts and textual fortitude to go after the real person. And that's Jurgen Klopp. No one's got the bottle. No one has got the guts to do it. No one. No one's got the bottle to do it. It's don't hurt you guys. Really. It doesn't hurt people to actually go, you know what, Jurgen's effed up. I can't say the F word no more. I've got to stop saying the F word because YouTube have changed their monetization things on language and you can't say the F word no more. Although I'm a grown man talking to grown-ups, you can't use the F word no more. So I've got to be really careful. But Jurgen effed up. Right? Jurgen effed up. Jurgen's effed up. There's no doubt about it. But people don't come for him. Jurgen is great. And I've said this time and time again. I love the guy. He's great. But he's not a machine. Yeah? He's a normal human being like everyone else who makes mistakes. He's allowed to make mistakes. He's made mistakes after mistakes after mistakes this season. He's allowed to. There's nothing wrong with it. But you're allowed to call him out on it. But for some reason... Oh, Jesus, Pac-Man. That wouldn't be said anyway. Bloody hell. For some reason, you're not allowed... Yeah, Edward. You're not allowed to say anything. Do you know what I mean? You know how I am, guys. I'll be quite honest with you guys. I always am. If I see Klopp's made mistakes, I'll go for Klopp. I don't really want to go for anyone else. I've mentioned Pep Lijnders and that before. I've mentioned the owners. I've mentioned everyone. But my main attention has always been on the manager because he's the manager. He's the geezer in charge. Yeah? He's look, no matter what anyone wants to think, Liverpool is Jurgen Klopp's club. You might think FSG own Liverpool, right? You might think FSG own Liverpool, but Jurgen Klopp is the man in charge of Liverpool Football Club. Let's get this right straight away. Jurgen Klopp is the man in charge of Liverpool Football Club. Jurgen Klopp is Jurgen Klopp is the man picking his director of football. Jurgen Klopp should have no say in this whatsoever. He's the one picking it, right? Jurgen Klopp owns Liverpool Football Club. The owners haven't got the guts to sack Jurgen Klopp. They haven't got the guts to do anything about it because Jurgen is too powerful. Jurgen Klopp owns Liverpool. He has all the say. All the say. He has all the say. Now, is he a terrible manager? No. Will come good again. There's no doubt about it. Klopp's not a bad manager at all. He's just got things wrong this season and he's calling out on. And things that start to worry me. You know, there's things in it that start to worry me about Jurgen. You know, going on in the next few years. You know, you got to look at patterns. You know, there's patterns there. That Jurgen can't use his 5 sub rule. He's terrible at it. Jurgen wanted the 5 subs more than anyone in the Premier League. He's terrible at using the 5 sub rule. Awful at it. His in-game management at times isn't what it used to be. You know, his in-game management at times lets him down a little bit. But I just question. I'm allowed to question. I love Jurgen. I think he's great. But nothing lasts forever. You know, unless you're Ric Flair. Nothing lasts forever, guys. Nothing. Now, if we get the midfielders we want in the summer, and Klopp goes back to playing the way he wants to play, high press, you know, counter pressing, you can win the second ball back, you've got mobility in the midfield, getting hold of the ball and running, then good, we'll go up again. No doubt about it, because that's the way Jurgen Klopp likes to play. And when he plays at that level with his system, it works beautifully, right? But when that system starts to fall, apart a little bit, Jurgen struggles. We can't sit here and pretend he don't. We can't sit here and pretend Jurgen don't struggle when that system falls away and breaks away a little bit. We lost Virgil van Dijk and Matip. Klopp did not know what to do. He didn't know what to do. He played Henderson and Gini Wijnaldum and Fabinho as centre-backs and ruined our midfield. And in the end, he bit down and played Nat Phillips and Reece Williams as centre-backs, but we put our midfield back together. And because our midfield was good back then, they controlled games of football, and we ended up being third in the Premier League. When the system falls away a little bit, he doesn't seem to know how to get himself out of it all the time. The system's fallen away this year. As I keep saying, going back to the Virgil thing, Virgil van Dijk is the system. I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying this all season now. It's not Bobby Firmino. It's none of them. It's Virgil van Dijk. And Virgil van Dijk can't play anymore to this system. The system needs changing. I've said it time and time again. We have very good players in this team. You can't tell me we don't have very good players in this team. Adapt to the players you have available. Play them in their positions correctly. Play them in a formation that suits the players available. Play a tactic that suits the players available. If we can't press and play the high line with the players we got available right now, don't play them tactics. Don't play that system. If the high line and pressing system at the moment don't work because the players you've got available to you can't adapt to that system no more, change your system. And that's my issue. That is my number one major issue. Is when Klopp's got the players for his system, Klopp is unbelievable. Right? Unbelievable. When Klopp's got the right players for his system, Klopp is unbelievable at his job. When that system slightly falls apart, Klopp struggles. We saw it the year Van Dijk got injured. We saw it the year Van Dijk weren't available. The year Van Dijk weren't available, guys. Couldn't defend our title. You know? And then we struggled. As soon as Virgil comes back, we get our system back in place. We're hard to beat again. We almost win a quadruple. Virgil can't do it anymore. The system don't work anymore. We're struggling. It's not like I'm making crap up, guys. Do you know what I mean? I'm not making stuff up. It's there in front of you. It's there in front of you. It's there in front of us, guys. As I keep saying, get the right players in the system. Klopp thrives, and he's unbelievable at his job, and he's hard to beat. The little change in that system, any little change in that system, he struggles. We're seeing it this year. The system's not working, and we're struggling. We've got enough good players. We shouldn't be where we are. Shouldn't be where we are. That's an issue. I know you get a lot of big Liverpool fans go, "Oh, it's what happens when you got all your, your best players injured." Who? Alisson's been fit all season. Virgil's been fit all season. Salah's been fit all season. Fabinho's been fit all season. Endo's been fit all season. Trent's been fit most of the season. Robbo's been fit most of the season. Who? Who? Little parts of the system don't work no more. And it falls apart. That is my one major concern. My one major concern going forward. Yes, it all might be rosy next season. In the summer, we might have a great transfer window and get players in, yeah? Right? Might get players in, and the next season we go again, and it looks quite decent, yeah? We go again, it looks quite decent. Everyone, Jamie settled down. You know what you said the other last season, about, he's not this anymore, he's not that anymore. And then once a couple of players get injured and it starts to fall apart, you go blame John W. Henry and FSG. Because it's the easy scapegoat to blame. And I'm not saying they're not blameless, by the way, but it's the easy scapegoat to blame. Everything is a scapegoat. Everything we blame everyone else. And if you're not part of that crew, so if you're not part of the crew that blame FSG for everything, right, and you don't know what you're talking about, right? I don't blame FSG for everything, so I'm not part of that crew, so I get it all the time. Oh, how can you talk about Jurgen like that? I don't blame Pep Lijnders. I don't blame Pep Lijnders. He's just a coach. Again, why am I blaming Pep Lijnders for anything? The buck stops at the manager. The buck stops at his door. A quote came out from Jurgen Klopp today that I saw. Saying the players didn't believe they could beat Bournemouth. That's acceptable now, is it? That's acceptable. It's the manager to get these players motivated. It's up to the manager to get these players motivated. We weren't up to the challenge of beating Bournemouth. What sort of shit's that? What sort of crap is that? We weren't up to the challenge. I'm sorry. Was 12:30 kickoff too early for you? Did you want a lay-in? Or did you have to get up at 6? Oh, boy, boo-hoo. Get motivated. It's Bournemouth. Where's your motivation? Buck stops at the manager. Don't get me wrong. The players got to blame as well. The players are dreadful. Mo Salah was dreadful. Mo Salah's penalty miss was dreadful. First penalty we've had in years, and he misses it. Buck stops at the players as well. Don't get me wrong. Players got so much to look at. All these players should be looking at themselves. Where's their motivation gone? Where's the players in this team? Where has their motivation gone? Are all these, are any of these players hungry anymore? That's what I asked that as well. Are any of these players hungry anymore? Are they all full up? Because that's what it looks like to me. All these players look bloated. All these players look bloated and just look like they want to have a lay down. None of them look hungry apart from people like Gakpo and Darwin Núñez because they're new. Luis Diaz because he's new. Everyone else is like, everyone, everything. Yeah. Lack of motivation. Thiago coming out the other week and saying the players are still feeling it from last season mentally. What? We're in March. When's that going to stop? When's that excuse going to stop? We're in March. Season's almost finished. Are we going to use that excuse next season as well when we're not playing well? Oh, yeah, it was that year when we almost won the quadruple. It took it out of the boys. Get over it. You're grown men. You're grown men. Get over it. Shake yourself off and get up. That didn't sound right. Get over it. Get over it. I'm sick of hearing the excuses. I'm sick of the excuses. We weren't ready to compete against Bournemouth. What kind of an excuse is that? I'm sorry. We just beat Man United 7-0. Why aren't we ready for the challenge of Bournemouth on a 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday? Why? Why? These players used to have great mentality. The motivation's not there anymore. And motivating these players still lands at the manager. The manager can't come out on live TV and go, the players weren't up for the challenge of Bournemouth. You can't say that. It's just balmy. When the players go think, it just, I don't get it. I don't get it. The manager gambled in the summer. There's no doubt about that. Jurgen Klopp gambled in the summer and the gamble's not paid off. That's his problem, right? That's his issue. Can we stop scapegoating? Can we please stop scapegoating everyone else and look at sometimes the issue at hand? The one thing I will say, let me get a DJ Brains in Super Chat and then I've got something else to say. Big up DJ Brains. Klopp was one who said we didn't need players, so he has to take some of the blame this season. The tools we have trying to do the job ain't good. Big up DJ, and he sent another one. With Klopp's system, it needs to rebuild every 4 years. Yeah, exactly. Right, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not blaming the owners. The owners have got a lot of blame. I said this on yesterday's show. I want the owners gone. We need new owners. I'm not going down this owner route again because that's all everyone talks about. And it does my head in, yeah? We got the aeroplanes going over Anfield, FSG out, Klopp in. Why? Why Klopp in? I don't care about the FSG out there. I agree with that, yeah? I agree with it. Big up to Kurdish and that. Big up to you guys. Much love. But why did Klopp in bit? Why the Klopp in bit? This is what I keep saying. You're basically saying he's not blameless for anything. Klopp's not blameless. We can't keep going down this road of Klopp not being blameless. Liverpool wanted by Mateus Nunes, yeah? Klopp said no, right? We wanted other midfield. You can't tell. I've been saying this for a while now, and I'm going to say this again right now. You can't tell me there ain't been midfielders that Liverpool could have bought in the last few years that we've not bought. There's no way in hell there ain't been midfielders. You're telling me Liverpool couldn't have bought a Gravenberch? Are you literally telling me Liverpool couldn't have bought a Camavinga before they went to their other clubs for cheap money? Are you telling me Liverpool were never interested in these players? Because that's bullshit. I'm going to call that bull crap right now. That is bull crap straight away. There's no way in hell that Liverpool, the size of this club and the way they run, weren't looking at options like a Camavinga, who is in FSG's marketplace of 20 odd million, young, with improvements, and could be cost a fortune in a few years' time. It's down FSG alley. Why were we never in for that player? You can't tell me we're never in for that player. I think that's bull crap. I think that's bull crap. We can't just completely go. You can't just completely go. Oh, FSG in, Klopp in. You just can't. You can't sit there and go, right, everything is FSG's fault and nothing is Jurgen's. We can't be having that discussion every week, guys. I said this yesterday on my video yesterday that as soon as Liverpool lost to Bournemouth yesterday, everyone on Twitter, other Liverpool YouTubers and all that, got straight on and went, right, this is why Liverpool lost. It's FSG's fault. Liverpool lost because it was FSG's fault, yeah? Liverpool lost because it's FSG's fault. Look at that team. You know, it's disgusting. Look at the bench. It's disgusting. But that same team and that same bench the week before beat Man United 7-0. So was it FSG's fault last week that we won 7-0? No. Everyone praised Klopp and blamed the players. Praised the players and praised Klopp and all that. And was like, oh, this is why he's my manager. You know, my players, my manager. This is what he does. Forget Eric Ten Hag. Klopp's still the man around here. Still the governor. But then when we lose 1-0 to 20th team in the league in Bournemouth, everyone goes, right, this is FSG's fault. That don't make no sense. Are you telling me that team yesterday couldn't annihilate Bournemouth? Are we sitting here and saying that 11 yesterday couldn't annihilate Bournemouth? That team yesterday should have annihilated Bournemouth. Should have picked them apart, but they couldn't. And then you hear yesterday the team weren't ready for the challenge of Bournemouth. What the hell? That is a motivational issue. It's a motivational issue. These players as well have got a lot to blame for. Again, I'm not saying these players ain't got a lot to blame for. Virgil should have probably scored his header. Salah shouldn't have missed the penalty. But they're all set pieces, guys. Are you not seeing the problem here? They're all coming from set pieces. Our major chances. So yeah, blaming the players for their misses is all fine. But when most of them come from set pieces, there's an issue that we could have good chances in open play against Bournemouth. That's an issue as well, guys. It's an issue as well. It's an issue as well, guys. Yeah, and for me, it's a motivational issue. Like the players up for the Man United game can smash them 7-0, but they haven't got the motivation to beat Bournemouth. That's a problem, man. That's a real problem. And that's got to be looked at the manager and the players. It's not just the owners, as I keep saying. Yes, the owners have got to go. I can't keep saying that. I still get comments in my videos about... I swear people don't watch my videos, yeah? Because after a video, I always get comments after my videos or DMs in my Twitter talking about, oh, how can you be FSG in? When have I said that? You know, yesterday on my video, I saw people DMing me about it. It's like, oh, none of this is on Klopp. You know, what are you talking about FSG? How's it? Like, do you listen and watch my videos? Honestly, people. I can't keep telling you how much I want FSG to leave this football club. But I can't blame them for everything. Can't blame them for everything. Can't. Last week, we handled the most informed attacker in the Premier League in Marcus Rashford, yeah? Handled him nicely. On yesterday, we couldn't handle Dominic Solanke. Come on. It's a motivational issue. I can't be doing it. The team handled Marcus Rashford last week, the most informed attacker in the Premier League. Yesterday, they couldn't handle Dominic Solanke, who's a championship striker. Come on, guys. It's a motivational problem. And that starts from the manager to the players. Why are we sitting here pretending it ain't? Why are we not allowed to have these discussions? Why are we not allowed to have these discussions? So if you have these discussions, people don't want to talk about it. No one ever wants to talk about it. Yes, we go back to the days of when, look, under Klopp, it's been excellent. I ain't going to sit here and pretend it ain't. I don't think anyone in the chat is going to pretend it ain't. We all know the years under Jurgen Klopp have been our best years. It's been fantastic. There's no doubt about it. But as I keep saying, nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. Yeah, apart from like Alex Ferguson, who went 25 years, not a lot of managers stay at clubs that long. Look at Mourinho. Jose Mourinho is one of the greatest managers of all time. Yeah, he doesn't stay at clubs that long because he starts to fail. Look, Mourinho failed twice at Chelsea, quite badly. He won things at Chelsea, but then failed at Chelsea. He finished 10th one year with Chelsea. It fell off the cliff. And he got financial backing. And it fell off the cliff. But Mourinho is still one of the greatest managers that ever been around. Tremendous manager. But it fell off the cliff for him a couple of times. Why is Jurgen Klopp so covered like he can't do no wrong? I think some of the greats, man. Some of the greats have had poor seasons, poor years, fell off a cliff. It don't matter. It don't mean they're a crap manager now. I'm not saying Jurgen's a crap manager. Jurgen's still a great manager. He's having a bad time of it, like Mourinho did when he had a bad time of it, and he had to be sacked from Chelsea and left. He was financially backed, but he had to leave. Doesn't mean he's a terrible manager. It don't mean like. It's just say Pep Guardiola. Let's pick Pep Guardiola a minute, yeah, right? Say Man City don't win anything this season, yeah. Say Man City don't win anything this season, yeah, and Arsenal win the Premier League, yeah. Pep's just had a. It don't mean Pep's a crap manager, does it? He's not entitled to win everything every year. This is what I'm trying to get at. The entitlement. Entitlement's mad. You should. I hear people say, "Oh, Klopp with money will be unbeatable." Would he? Would he? The entitlement is a mad thing. I'm sick of entitlement. I really am. Football's moved on. I know people bring up these Bill Shankly quotes that, if finish second means you're the first loser and all this sort of stuff, yeah? Then quotes are from the 70s, yeah? When football was completely different. This is 2023. Football is a different game now. Football is a different game. Stop putting these Bill Paisley quotes up. Bill Shankly, sorry, my brain's gone mad. Stop putting these Bill Shankly quotes up and his Bob Paisley quotes up and all these quotes up from Liverpool managers of the past about finishing second, his first loser, and all that sort of stuff. That was the 70s, man. This is a different time of football now. This is 2023. This is 2023. Football is different now. Money is massive in football. Huge now. It's a billion pound franchise, especially in England. English football is worth billions, where everyone's rich, everyone's financially stable, everyone can buy players at decent quality. Everyone can buy players at decent quality. Finishing second these days isn't the first loser and all that sort of stuff. It just means there's a team in the league that's just a little bit better than you. You know what I mean? So if Klopp got money, right, and still finished second every year, what would you guys say? So if Klopp got money and finished second every year, and by the way, this thing that Klopp doesn't have money's got to stop because the players we bought weren't for free, all right? So we've got to stop this ball, right? We've got to stop this crap, yeah? I know everyone goes on net spend. Net spend's a myth because no one buys players no one goes and buys a player for 100 million and pays them the whole 100 million, yeah? Net spend is a myth, yeah? Chelsea spent 600 million in 2 transfer windows. Do you know how much money they put up front? It was between 70 and 90 million up front. That's their real spend. So can we get rid of this net spend bollocks, yeah? Because it does my head in, right? Liverpool has spent money. Alisson was a world record fee for a goalkeeper when we bought him. Virgil van Dijk was a world record fee as a centre-back when we bought him. Mane cost almost 40 million. Salah almost cost 40 million. Bobby Firmino was like 30 million, 29 million, something like that. Luis Diaz cost 50 million. Gakpo cost 44 million. Yeah, we weren't the 44 million up front because no one does up front costs. No one. For some reason, everyone thinks just Liverpool do it. But apparently, everyone just thinks Liverpool are the only club in the world that pay instalment fees on transfers. Well, I've got news for you. Every damn club does it. Does my head in. We spend money. We spend money. And if Liverpool, and this is why I'm saying about the midfield situation. That's why I question it. There is no way in hell we haven't looked at midfielders to buy in the last few years. No way in hell. And that's why I question it to this day. I don't put that on the owners all the time. I don't put the people not buying, us not buying midfielders. I don't always put that on the owners. I'm going to say that right now. Because the proof's in the pudding. We buy players. We buy players. And do you know what? And I hate as well. I hate this as well. This is what I hate as well. That Jurgen Klopp is a miracle worker. I hate this. I really hate this. Right? Jurgen Klopp's a miracle worker. No, he's not. No one's a miracle worker. The only miracle worker I've ever seen in the Premier League is Carlo Ranieri winning the Premier League with Leicester. That was a miracle. That is the only miracle I have seen in the Premier League. That is the only miracle worker I have ever seen in the Premier League. Ranieri winning the Premier League with Leicester City. That is a miracle worker. Klopp weren't a miracle worker. Klopp had a tremendous squad that should be competing for Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. I hate it. I hate this false narrative. This false narrative that Klopp's a miracle worker. When we won the Premier League and Champions League, we should have, because did you see our squad? If we weren't competing for them trophies with the squad we had, I'd be absolutely peeved. Do you know what I mean? It does my nut in. It does my nut in. The squad we had winning that Premier League. And you got to remember, we got no injuries as well. We got no injuries in them 2 years when we won the Premier League and Champions League. So the squad didn't need to be massive. That teams we had, Pac-Man will tell you, them teams we had were one of the best teams in Europe. I remember Liverpool fans talking about this all the time. This is why this miracle worker stuff grinds my gears so much. Because I remember going on Coppish before I started the YouTube channel, really. Well, I might have just started it, weren't doing it as I am now, right? I was going Coppish a lot. And I'd hear people say, oh, Liverpool got one of the best 11s in world football. When Liverpool put down their best 11, it's one of the best 11s in world football, right? I hear that. I used to hear that from Liverpool fans all the time. I'm sure everyone in the chat used to hear it all the time. When Liverpool put their best 11 out on the pitch that they can put out, it's one of the best 11s in world football. So how is it a miracle worker if you got one of the best world 11s and you go and win things? You know, that's not a miracle worker. That's a man who's very, 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 very good at his job, with very, very good players that kept him motivated. You know, he's got very good players there. We're talking about Virgil van Dijk, best player. He was easily the best defender in world football then. Alisson Becker, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. You got Trent, who was absolutely cooking at right back then. Robbo was an amazing left back. There was hardly any better left backs in world football than Robbo at that time when we won the Premier League and Champions League. And we had the best front three in Europe in Mane, Salah, and Bobby Firmino. And then we had a quality midfield. Of course we should be winning things. I'd be upset if we didn't. But we had a quality manager to put all that together. You still got to have a quality manager to put all that together. It's not a miracle, yeah? It's not a miracle. I'm sick of the miracle stuff. Like all the players are actually, because what I mean by this miracle stuff, guys, that people talk about is that they're making out that the manager is so good, but the players are not actually that good. That's what you're classing a miracle as, guys. No, Klopp's done a miracle with these players, because that's what I hear. Klopp's done a miracle with these players, right? That you're telling me, if you're saying that, that means the players we got, you don't actually rate. So I don't want you talking about Trent anymore. I don't want you talking about Van Dijk anymore. I don't want you talking about Alisson anymore. I don't want you talking about Salah anymore. I don't want you talking about Mane back before then. I don't want you talking about Bobby Firmino back then. I don't want you talking about Thiago. I don't want you talking about Henderson. I don't want you talking about any of them players because you don't rate them. You don't rate them. You do not rate them. Because you're putting the manager on such a pedestal that you don't actually rate these players. That is why you're saying, that's why I hear it all the time. Klopp's a miracle worker working with these players. I hear it all the time. What Jurgen Klopp was fantastic at is building a system. I'm going to say this again for people who's not listening. Jurgen Klopp built a tremendous system in his team. Yeah? And I've said this time and time again. If you've got an excellent high standard system, right? Pep Guardiola's system is massive, yeah? The system Pep Guardiola plays is such a high level that he needs high level players to go into that system, yeah? Right? That's why I've said it. Pep Guardiola wouldn't have won a Premier League with Liverpool's midfield, yeah? Because it's not the system Pep Guardiola plays with. So that's why the Klopp is such a good manager. He's not a miracle worker. He's a great manager with a great system. You had a world-class front three, Salah, Mane and Bobby, that he constructed. You had a world-class defence of Trent, Matip, Thiago, Trent, Matip, Virgil, Robbo and Alisson that he constructed. He had a system that he constructed. Yeah? The attacking fullbacks, the workhorse midfield. Yeah? It was a world-class structure. Yeah? And then he got quality to world-class players to go in that structure. So it goes hand in hand. Great players, great manager, and you win things. No coincidence. It's not a miracle. It's not a miracle. It's a great manager and a great team coming together and winning things. That's what it is. It's not a miracle. Greece winning the Euros, big up nightly, is a miracle. You know what I mean? That is what that is. But when you've got great players, and a great manager, and you come together, you'll go to win things. There's no doubt about it. You can have great players and a terrible manager, you're not going to win anything. You have a great manager and great players, you come together, you'll go and win things, guys. It's as simple as that. There's no miracle in it. There's no miracle in it. And right now, Liverpool are struggling. The system don't work no more because Virgil van Dijk don't work no more. It comes back to all the way back to what I said at the beginning of this video, guys. Virgil van Dijk was the system. That is why. That's why we don't work no more. That's why we don't work anymore. That's what. As simple as that. Virgil's not the player he once was. He's not the world-class centre-back anymore. There's nothing wrong in saying that, guys. Get it off your chest. You don't have to defend him all the time. He's just not the world-class centre-back anymore. It's fine with it. I'm fine with it. I'm quite cool with it. I don't know why others ain't. Right? Don't get wound up by it, guys. He just ain't. It's fine. And because of that, we're not a world-class team anymore. You know, we're not a world-class team anymore because, unfortunately, Virgil's not a world-class player. And that it goes all the way back to that. He's just not world class anymore. And I ain't got a problem with it, guys. I literally haven't got a problem with it. He's just very, very good. I ain't got a problem with it. I'm happy with it. I can say it quite comfortably. It don't bother me. It don't bother me. Yeah, I don't get wound up about it. I don't get wound up when people talk about it online or on Twitter or anything like that. I don't get wound up by it because he's not overrated. He's not underrated. He's none of that silly nonsense. He's just a very, very, very good centre-back that can't quite hit the highs he once did. He just can't hit the highs he once did. And if people want to think he's still world-class, I'm all happy for you. I ain't going to argue about it. I really ain't going to argue about it, guys. I really ain't. But we can't perform to the level we once did. We can't perform to the level we once did because Virgil can't perform to that level anymore. And that don't mean Virgil, it goes hand in hand. I've said it many times. Virgil last season was a better defender than he is this season. Yeah, that's a fact. Well, I don't care what anyone says. It's an absolute fact, right? So the system worked last season. Also, we tweaked our system a little bit last season. We became more of a possession-based team, more technical kind of side. I remember everyone complaining that we were boring to watch last season. Everyone keeps saying it. I've gone on many Liverpool YouTube channels and people go, oh, Liverpool were well boring to watch last season, right? Really boring to watch. So we're more technical-sided, right? So, Virgil was better for it last season. This season, Virgil's not quite as good as he was last season, so the team ain't quite as good. It goes hand in hand. We play in a way. We were able to play away because of the way Virgil played. We couldn't. There weren't many centre backs we could get to play the way we played when we won the Premier League and Champions League under Virgil van Dijk. I don't think we could have got any other defender to play that way at that time. And the club knew that. Klopp knew that. I'll get that player in. That's why Klopp never went for another centre-back, guys. Why do you think when we messed up with buying Virgil that summer and got told off and a slapped hand and told not to buy Virgil again, we apologised to Southampton. Then we went back in for him for January. Why do you reckon we never bought another defender? Why do you reckon we kept with Lovren? Yeah? Klopp wanted to play away. We were playing high lines with Lovren and bloody Matip and that, and it didn't work. We couldn't do it. And we never went and bought another defender. Remember the 4-1 loss to bloody Tottenham? And Klopp was like, enough's enough. Let's go back in for Virgil in January. We got Virgil in January and straight away we changed as a team. We changed as a team straight away. We changed straight away as a team because what Virgil was so good, so good. This is why I'm not saying. That's why I hate the overrated thing. So it's a question today. I weren't saying he was overrated. I was giving the question to you guys and debating about it. Virgil's not overrated. Tremendous defender who was our system. Unfortunately, Virgil can't do what he used to do. So the system's gone away a little bit, unfortunately. Virgil's not as good this season as he was last season, and the system is not benefiting from it. Virgil's lost a little bit of pace, so he's a bit more of a liability at the back now when we play a high line. This is why I always go back to it. Protect Virgil. Protect Virgil. If Virgil's still a quality defender, put him in a scenario where he can show that. Don't leave him vulnerable. Don't leave him vulnerable. That's all I ask, man. That's all I ask. But yeah, look, Virgil made mistakes yesterday, bad. It was the worst game of football Virgil's ever played for us yesterday. There's no doubt about it. But we've got to think about the future, guys. Virgil's what, 31? We've got to think about the future. Virgil is not going. I don't think Virgil can be one of them defenders that is still class in his later 30s because of the way he plays, especially the way we play. That could change if we play a little bit differently. If we change it up a little bit. Maybe play 3 at the back like the Dutch do, and Virgil looks much better like that, don't he? Maybe go that way. Put it this way. Would you play Thiago Silva? I think he's one of the best defenders of his generation, yeah? Would you play Thiago Silva in a high line in a 4-4-2 with fullbacks that go as wingers? No. He'd be so vulnerable. He'd be caught out all the time. But Virgil can do that to a degree. He just can't do it right now. So what we got to do is adapt to Virgil. He's still a quality defender, and adapt to him. Go, right, let's not play that high line anymore, Virgil, because it's getting you rinsed. You know, you can't do it as you used to. It's not fair on you and your body. Let's change it up. That's all I'm asking, man. I ain't asking for miracles. I ain't asking for miracles. I'm not asking for miracles. I really ain't. Let's change it up. Let's change things up. Let's stop going with the same old, same old. But that's me, guys. That's me done, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you very much for joining me on your Sunday afternoon. I do appreciate it. Guys, I'm not going to be back now till Saturday. I'm having a week off. I'm going on holiday tomorrow. So I'm away tomorrow with the kids. So I'm not going to be about. Me, the kids and the wife and my family are all going away on holiday tomorrow. We'll go have a good 5-day break. So I am not going to be about, guys. What I will try and do is try and do a pre-recorded preview for the Real Madrid game for you guys and try and have that out for you tomorrow if I can. Other than that, guys, I won't probably be back till Saturday. So I hope you have a good one. It's my first break. I don't usually have breaks this long. So, yeah, enjoy your week, guys, and I will catch you next Saturday. That's it with me now for a week. Enjoy, guys. I'm going to enjoy some nice time off and not think about any football or anything like that and just have a nice time with the family. You guys have a nice break from me as well. We all do for a break, occasionally. But big up to everyone on the channel. Big up to everyone in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. Don't forget to hit that like button underneath the video. I would really appreciate it. Let's get the likes up to 100 if we can, man. Really appreciate the love. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.